Hey, how's it going? Thank you for joining me. My name's Jason, and I love electronic music, and I love the gear we use to create it. Today, I want to talk about the H90. I've owned this pedal for just over a month now, and I wanted to share with you 3 of my favorite algorithms so far. These are ones that I think are on the newer side within it, and they are special. And I'm going to be visiting those using some of my synthesizers as well as my guitar. So if that sounds good to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's jump in. All right, so the first algorithm I want to talk about is the micro pitch in the H90. Now, I know this one's been around for a while, but the reason I keep coming back to it is it can make my Take 5 sound really big, even bigger than it already sounds. And what I mean by that is it can take it and make it sound like it has a lot more voices than it actually has, which is perfect for creating that Supersaw sound, that is so essential in a lot of genres of electronic music. Now, when you have only 5 voices, you can't do that with just the synth alone. Really, you need to get into double the voices in order to do that. And you need a synth that's going to allow you to stack the voices in unison and detune them against each other. This is something you can only do in monosynth mode for this by pressing the unison and then detuning. Otherwise, you're just getting kind of the more thin sound, So you have 3 octaves going plus some noise. It sounds pretty good, but it doesn't have that big, massive, larger-than-life Supersaw sound. Enter the micro pitch. This allows us to double, even almost triple the voices so that it really does have that unison detune stacking sound. So let me show it to you and then let me break it down for you. So here it is. Right? Just nice and big. It fills things out a lot more. We can add some reverb too. Just nice and big sounding. The thing sounds like I've got more than one Take 5 going here. And because the Microshift just does such a good job of doubling things up. And it's quite simple what's going on under the hood. If we look at the parameters, we can see that we're just utilizing the fact that we can have a pitch A and a pitch B, and then we are offsetting them a fair amount. I've got it to 12C. You can make that even more if you really want to make it, but 12 seems good to me, and then you can shape the tone as well. Lots of thickness. It sounds really big. Let me show this to you in context now so you can hear it in an overall song. Okay, the next one I want to talk about that has become a favorite of mine is the glitch algorithm. And I like the whole thing that it can do, but the special thing for me that it has is this alias effect that it has within it. It's kind of like a bit rate reduction, but it's also unique in the way that it sounds. Plus, you've got some extra features that you can add to it. You've got reverb that you can bring in, as well as a filter and the width to the reverb. So just in itself, like ignoring the fact that it can do these cool glitches and bursts, it also has this really cool alias that can just stay on the sound that I think is really cool, especially for bass lines. Here's how this Moog sounds just on its own. Okay, so great Moog sound, great bass sound, but now listen to this through the Alias. It's got a cool beefiness to it, cool texture to it. Now let me get into the parameters here. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm learning one of the algorithms on the Eventide is I like to just kind of create a program where the algorithm that I'm playing with is going to be the main one, and then I'm mapping 6 of the important parameters to these main 3 knobs, and that's what I've got going here. So it allows me to quickly adjust things. So listen to this. That's with no alias. And then you start bringing it in. And it can just have lots of different character to it. Right? And then bring in some reverb to fill it out. I don't know. I just think that sounds really cool. And then add some chorus to it. To me, that sounds really awesome. And that's why this algorithm has risen to the top in terms of one of my favorites. So let me now show you this in the context of a song. My third favorite algorithm on the Eventide H90, especially in terms of being a bit of a surprise hit for me, is the sticky tape. And not only is it really cool to have kind of tape emulation, this one has some tricks up its sleeve that I find. This one has some tricks up its sleeve. One of my favorite things about it is the compression and the drive. As you're going to hear on my guitar in a moment, these can kind of take it into this cool, warm overdrive territory. Also, Also, you can change, just like any cassette plugin or that sort of thing, you can change the wow and flutter and the rate. But what I like about this is the offset paired with the width, because that allows this thing to go into a really nice and wide stereo sound. And then too, we've got the tape speed and the filter, which have a dramatic effect over the overall sound, taking it into kind of a band pass, a high pass with the filter, as well as the tape speed, making it more or less lo-fi sounding. So let's dig into this thing with a guitar, and I'm going to start out by playing some chords, and then I'm going to do a lead line with it. I'm going to add some more drive here, add some more compression so you can hear how cool this thing sounds. A little bit less wow and flutter. Yeah, so there's the sticky tape, and I hope you can hear just how special it is. Not only are you getting that cassette sound, but it's giving this really cool drive feature and compression and this really cool kind of chorusy stereo effect that I think sounds amazing on electric guitar. All right, if you've been watching up to this point, thank you, and I want to give you a bonus. This is an extra thing that I love about the Eventide H90, an extra algorithm that has caught me by surprise that I think is special, and right now it's the Humble Hall algorithm. Now, the reason why I love this algorithm, I mean, it sounds great, but to me, it's these extra parameters that allow for something special when it comes to synthesizers. It allows for that amazing wash sound that sounds so great on an analog synth, you know, where you can lower the lows and really accentuate the highs. And how it does that, as you can see on the screen here, it does allow for EQing. So you can, you've got 3 EQ levels here that you can cut or add to. But to me, something really special about it is this high and low decay. And essentially what these do is they take whatever your decay time is, which, look at this, it goes extremely high up to infinite, and then before that 20 seconds. So you can already have a really high decay time, and then it takes that and multiplies it by this factor. So you could have it so that it's not multiplying the low at all and really accentuating the high decay, which gives you this sort of sound. Right, listen to that. Just sounds majestic, sounds sublime. It gives you that washout sound that to me is so desirable. So it's like this sleeper hit in here, this hall reverb. Now, let me show it to you in the context of this song that I've been working on. I'm going to use it on the melody to create that epic sound that we love. see what I mean? It just gives it this beautiful decay sound to it using the high decay mixed with that high level. You can really wash it out. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I love just checking out gear together, seeing what we can come up with, seeing where it takes us. Today we've been looking at the Eventide H90 and three of my favorites after having used it for about a month and a half or so, and also giving you a bonus there with the hall reverb. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I release a new video every week, so see you again next time. Take care. Bye.